We're beginning our latest tour. This is called Pennsylvania 65000. It'll take us to central Pennsylvania. We were coming up with names for the tours, and I looked at the map for Pennsylvania. All I could think of is when I was growing up, my father, who served in the Merchant Marines in World War II, he was a very, very big Glenn Miller fan, and used to play various Glenn Miller songs, including the famous Pennsylvania 65000. So I thought it was an apt title for this tour. And this tour will take us to 4 stops. The first one is in Ono, Pennsylvania, which is not far from Hershey and Harrisburg. Then Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And then on the second day, we'll be in the area around Allentown, so we'll stop in Walnutport and Stockertown. So I'm looking forward to our latest tour, Pennsylvania 65000. We just finished the first stop on our Pennsylvania 65000 tour. This took us to Ono, Pennsylvania. So this is an interesting operation for us because it's had a lot of history. It's a long-standing company at one time called J.P. Donmoyer. And then one of our former affiliates, Sylphie's, had purchased this about 10 or so years ago. And then we took over that business about 5 years ago. So it's become one of our larger company operations, and it's part of where we do a lot of dry bulk work. So instead of the liquid chemicals, a lot of this is dry bulk ingredients, chemical, or going into cement production and things like that. And at this operation, we have a number of things besides the terminal. We've got our 4 bays, maintenance shop. We also have a safety school there, so our new drivers, and we got to meet a couple of them that just started this week. Actually, today was their first day. And then we're in the process of putting in an on-the-job training center as well to teach people the loading and unloading of tanks, so it'll be a better destination for all of our Northeast terminals instead of having to travel to, the Midwest or down to the Southeast. So it'd be a nice option for us. So all at the terminal, got to meet Chris Sylphies, who oversees a lot of this business for us. And then our terminal manager, Pat, had met him before, so it was good to catch up with him briefly. And then I got to spend some time in the shop. So Steve is our RFM, oversees a number of shops, been with us about 5 years, long-standing experience, 35 plus years in maintenance, was in the military prior to that for a number of years. And then the local shop manager, Pete, he runs the shop. Good group of guys there, do a lot of work for us, both trailers and tractors. So it was really a nice operation. It's really transformed over the years. We've invested heavily here, especially in new tractors, and a very, very efficient operation now, and really, really well run. So it was great to meet the entire team in Ono, Pennsylvania. We just completed the second stop on the Pennsylvania 65000 tour in central PA. This took us to our operation in Williamsport. And just about a week and a half ago, there was the Little League World Series here, which is held every year. And one of the teams from our home state of Florida won this year. But it was great seeing the team here, so got to meet with Chris, our TM. He's been in the trucking business for a bit, worked for one of the larger dedicated trucking fleets on the dry van side, so spent some time with him. Spent some time with Jeff, who's our senior fleet manager in the area for maintenance. And then Robbie, who is our primary contact in the shop, got to meet the mechanics team. We've got a nice shop operation there. They do a little bit of everything to maintain our fleet. I got to meet the rest of the operations team, including some of the folks that have been there a while, like Bob Coppersmith and Terry and Brittany, and just a great group of people. And then Jack Wright, who oversees a number of our terminals in this area. We've run into him a few times on these tours, including in Pittsburgh and in Williamsport, Maryland, this time in Williamsport, PA. So it was a great second stop to meet the team here in Williamsport, PA. We just finished our third stop on the Pennsylvania 65000 tour, and that took us to Perryville. And this is a location that we run about better part of 10 drivers out of this terminal. All the work we do here is in the dry bulk world, moving some sand, some fly ash, some coal, all for some of the power plants and some other applications. And we've moved this terminal a few times over the years, but it's in Perryville now. Diane Heckman is the longstanding terminal manager here. Her husband Glenn runs the shop. Got to see him again. He oversees a number of our shops in the Northeast. He's been in the industry a long time, very creative guy. Then we spent time in the shop, about a half a dozen guys all together. Briar is the lead for the shop. A lot of the guys there have been there, 5+ years, and they do a lot of unique work here. Just about anything possible to be done can be done at the shop. Whether it's rebuilding equipment, whether it's doing welding on frames, whether it's doing specialty installations, modifications. Up when we were up in our Yankee Land tour, we had some new dump trucks. Those were, a lot of the work done on those was done here to improve safety and reliability. And Glenn brings a wealth of experience here, and got to see one of his latest, I'll call it inventions for us, is an oil evacuation system that allows us to much more efficiently and safely change oil in our tractors. So for all the oil work evacuating from the unit, we don't have to carry it around the shop. It's got a vacuum system into a repurposed propane tank that is environmentally safe and sound. It's efficient, and as a result of its success, he's in the process of doing more than a half a dozen to put in our shops around the country to again improve environmental compliance, so there's no chance of spilling oil, and also for efficiency. So just great creativity. Then spent some time with Diane talking about the terminal, what they've done to kind of repurpose it here, and then also got to see one of her pastimes. She's an artist and had some beautiful watercolors that she's done in her spare time, and it was just a really great visit to Perryville, meeting with the team, and really enjoyed it and appreciate all their hospitality. And now we're on to our last stop on the Pennsylvania 6 5000 tour. We just finished our last stop on the Pennsylvania 6 5000 tour. This took us to our operation in Stockertown, so not too far from Allentown, Nazareth, PA area. And we're actually on site here for a major customer in the cement industry, and we run a nice shop here, and a pretty small, efficient terminal team. So got to meet Adam, who's our TM for this area, regional TM. Mike, who's kind of oversees some of our ICs, manages 20 plus, and then a couple other folks in the office, Margie and Cheryl, the driver manager side. It's got to meet the great team here. This is a good operation. The plant that we're at has been around for over 100 years making cement, and as part of the visit, we also got a very fairly brief but still comprehensive tour of the customer's operations. It was really interesting. It brought me back to my own days in manufacturing, making glass, to see the cement making process, and from everything from the quarry area to the mixing to the kilns to then the bagging operations. It was really excellent to see it. It also reminded me of the extreme dust levels in these facilities, but what a great operation, very efficient. And then spent some time in the shop, got to spend time with Mike, a number of the mechanics, Butch, who's been with us a number of years, been in the world of maintenance for over 50 years, works part-time now. Got to meet him and the rest of the team there. It was really an excellent visit, nice shop, great operation, and really an exceptional finish to what's been a very interesting, informative, and in many ways a very unique tour for the Pennsylvania 6 5000. So looking forward to the next tour.